It's Chet Holmgren and Team Sizzle. They'll be in black tonight, and Emoni Bates leads YPSI Prep in white. What more do you need to see? The two #1 guys in their respective classes, Adam. We are set up for a dandy in this game.
Another one to keep an eye on for Team Sizzle. Prince Aligbe wearing number 10 in black. Also Jaden Akins, the Michigan State-bound point guard, 0 in white.
Holmgren wins the tip, and we are underway in Ann Arbor. Starting lineups brought to you by the United States Marine Corps. For Team Sizzle, Holmgren spinning, hanging, can't buy the bucket though.
So there wasn't the finish there, but right off the bat, you see that skill set we're talking about. Remember, he's 7 feet tall, putting the ball on the floor like that.
Look how effortlessly he grabs the rebound.
Opener here, because Chet, while he's given up that 50-plus pounds, is not going to be pushed around on the block there. You could see him very willing to make contact.
Phillips a block, Bates running an open floor. Wide open jumper, can't cash in. Bates the offensive board, kick right back out. And Javon Hanna can't get his stroke going early.
Gonna look at Hersey Miller here running the show.
Takes it hard to the hole and is fouled on his way there. LSU, Missouri, USC, UCLA, Arizona, Howard, and Western Kentucky. Donovan Smith, he's 0 for 2 from deep. Bates, the run out and the throwdown. You get your first look at a Emoni Bates rack attack right there.
Well, that is the athleticism we talked about.
Thanks, Matt. The fun continues here in Ann Arbor. The two best prospects of the sport right now squaring off. #1 senior Chet Holmgren in the class of 2021 against the #1 junior Emoni Bates. They'll try another alley-oop, but he kept it on the ground. Holmgren, a great block there. Running the floor in open space, and Team Sizzle
still continuing to get better at every step along the process.
Here's Bates, pulls the trigger from deep. It hits! Emoni Bates has all 5 points.
Traveling there, even though it was a turnover, shows signs of his unique skill set.
Pushing in transition, Javon Hanna coast to coast to put YPSI Prep in front for the first time tonight.
Well, that's what Hanna wants to do. He's a physical wing who wants to make an aggressive attack of the basket.
This is Dylan Hunter, another 5-star prospect. Kick to the corner, doesn't lead to 3. Following the shot, blocked by Holmgren. That's his second of the night to deny Jaden Akins on the drive.
How about starting the break himself, finding the shooter in the corner.
Leads to 3. Donovan Smith, his first triple of the night. Both these teams finding their offensive flow.
Donovan Smith is the resident shooter for Team Sizzle. Does a great job of spacing the floor, being in the right spots, and then knocking down open shots.
That double team comes on Bates. He passes out of it, and Jaden Akins cashes in for 3, and they're both committed to the same school, Michigan State, Akins and Bates.
Well, one good 3 deserves another. Akins there showing the southpaw stroke. He's a big point guard who can make plays as well.
Running the floor again. Here's Bates, decides to pop. That one off the front rim. Trying to grab his own rebound, but Donovan Smith there to corral it. Here's Holmgren. All the way for a man's jam. Chet Holmgren. Inside to Sean Phillips. That's a mismatch, and somehow Holmgren stole it away from him. He's doing everything right now, including a quarterback throw. Outlet pass, and it leads to 2. And YPSI Prep is just out of rhythm right now. Last 7 possessions, they're 0 for 3, 4 turnovers. Bates gets both at the foul line, though. 6 seconds left. Ooh. Could be dangerous the other way. Hanna passes it off right back to Bates. 1 second left on the shot clock. He beats the buzzer. Emoni Bates with 4 points in the final 6 seconds.
He had labeled this kid and identified this kid when he was in middle school. You and I were on the call with his dad the other day. I said, when did you know? He said when he was 5 or 6 years old. So this is a kid who literally doesn't know any different.
Offensive board by Bates. The double team comes in, loses the handle. Bates still fighting for it. I'll tell you what, Adam, you would not know this is an exhibition between these two, because They've been going back and forth. Donovan Smith drills the three there for Team Sizzle.
Well, remember what Chet Holmgren told us about Donovan Smith yesterday? He said he's our Trae Young. Well, I'll tell you what, Donovan Smith living up to that right now. The junior guard, he's only 5'9", but he has been splashing threes here. And there's another one.
Playing the game they love.
There's only so many old games you can watch, you know, and so it's great to see live action. I know talking to these guys, they were thrilled to be able to be out on the floor and have been on the floor for the last couple of months, trying to do it as safely as they possibly can.
Bates already with 9, takes it all the way off the window and in to tie this game at 18.
It's going to be necessary to build up that body. So there's just a polish to him and a mentality that complements the obvious physical tools that you're seeing.
Great takeaway from Akins, and he finishes on the other end.
I mean, think about what we see in the NBA. That's a skill in and of itself. When other players want to play with you, you know, you see these super teams forming in the NBA, but then sometimes you see these high volume guys that other players aren't as crazy about playing with. That is not the case with the two guys you're watching here today.
In the last 90 seconds, it's a 9-0 run. Hersey Miller.
Maybe you have some secondary action to run. If not, you get into your set and run some offense.
That double team comes in every time Bates touches the ball. Swing to Hannah, can't connect on the three. Holmgren pulls down the board. Look at this 7-footer run the floor. He is so comfortable with the ball in his hands. Pass out for a three, goes begging. Offensive board, Holmgren, and he puts it up and in. Chet Holmgren.
I mean, he dominates every single game in one of those categories, most recently in all three.
As we watch him right now, Paul, a 7-footer, he brings up the ball so easily. Great ball handling on this kid.
And it's amazing skill level because he was always skinny. He played facing the basket. He didn't want to go inside. He didn't want to get bumped. He didn't want to get, you know, beat on inside. But look at his handle coming around. And then the spin. The agility at 7'1" is off the charts.
Akins showing off the handles.
He really was.
Here's Emoni Bates. Trying to drive. I think that's going to stay YPSI prep ball.
Whatever that is. So learning to pick your spots and be efficient without total freedom is part of the transition that every great player has to go through.
How fun is it to watch Chet Holmgren tonight? The spin and then the finish to fire Team Sizzle back in front. 30 seconds left in the half.
Got to be honest, I'm feeling pretty good about him being number one right now. Watching what he's doing here in this first half.
Yeah, he's looked really good.
Possession of the game here. You hear Coach yell out last shot. No surprise, they're going to play through the big fella in the middle of the floor. Here comes a spin.
Holmgren working on Bates. One-on-one. The two top prospects in the entire country. And Holmgren gets the better of Bates and takes a 1-point lead into halftime.
Sold me about Chet was his mentality and his toughness. So the skill set we talked about, the defensive ability we've talked about, but the toughness is so impressive because even when he's giving up 70 pounds, he backs down from no one. He's got an edge to him that you really can't teach. It's something that just comes naturally to him.
Isaiah Davis cashes in on the offensive rebound. Holmgren altered the shot, did it again, now battling for the board.
Even your man wide open on the offensive glass. Now, Sean Phillips didn't finish it that time, but that's one of the nuances of being an elite rim protector that he's going to have to learn to weigh instinctively at the next level, when to commit and when to stay at home.
19 points for Emoni Bates now after he buried that three. A deep three, and the answer comes from Donovan Smith.
Team Sizzle's Trae Young, says Chet Holmgren. Well, Donovan Smith living up to it on that pull-up three.
Bates back the other way. He's got it. It's a 3-point shootout in Michigan.
That is his spot, the left wing, crossing over his man to knock that one down. You know many 16-year-old teenagers who can make that shot? Because I sure as heck don't.
Back-to-back threes for Emoni Bates. He's heating up. A league bay in the spin cycle, doesn't roll in.
With their size and physicality, but also their skill and versatility.
Bates hard to the hole, draws the foul. So you speak of versatility. How about that word?
There's not much he can't do, especially on the offensive end of the floor.
Number one player in the junior class, up to 23 points. His counterpoint part right here, Chet Holmgren. He's the number one player in the senior class. Holmgren Frees himself up for a three, and he hits it.
The touch, you've seen the hands, you've seen more versatility, frankly, than we've seen in a long time in terms of his ability to put the ball on the floor. And then there's the killer instinct and mentality.
Dylan Hunter met at the rim in the cylinder, though. Goaltending is the call. Holmgren a little late to that one. Devil's advocate would say, well, he's 7'1" and he's playing high school basketball. Shouldn't he dominate? How are you so sure that he can translate it to college and the NBA?
Well, you're never sure. When you're projecting a future market like we are anytime we're assessing the future, there is no such thing as certainty. If there was, we'd never be wrong. But I'll tell you what, he's got all the markers you look for, as I was saying.
Right on cue, Holmgren. Let the play speak for itself.
I mean,
that's all the evidence you need, right?
There's not much he hasn't done in this game. What a complete performance he is putting together here.
In perfect position for that follow flush to fire Team Sizzle back in front by 1. 3 minutes to play in this third quarter.
And you know what, Jay? Lots of times, high school games, we'll see the prospects and they'll show signs of their potential, but they haven't turned it into polished production yet. These two guys are bringing it when the lights are on brightest and they are playing their best basketball.
Step back three, can't hit it. Holmgren now playing transition. Defense swats it away. The help defense for another block.
And that shows you the quickness, too, because Emoni went to the other side of the rim specifically to try and protect the ball from Chet, and he still got to it.
Floater somehow goes down for Emoni Bates.
And that's a big-time play there. Attacking the closeout, and again with the body control, while he's falling out of bounds to be able to put that kind of touch on the ball and knock that one down, it's a big-time shot.
Staying with it, Hersey Miller, the third attempt goes down.
Found himself more open than he expected to be. This has turned into a heck of a basketball game. When he thought about it.
Bates, pull-up pop, hits it. Emoni Bates is getting everything he wants right now on the offensive end.
And this is one of the areas in which I think he has a chance to be just as special as other areas, is in the mid-range game. You've seen the floaters. I love the pull-up game, too.
Holmgren back the other way, count it, plus the foul. Feed inside. Holmgren forcing the fadeaway. That's no good. Akins keeps it alive. Akins can't connect. Bounced around. Finally, Team Sizzle has it.
Ball starting to stick on that possession there.
Donovan Smith, transition three, and he drills it.
26 points. He's missed 4 shots all night long.
Shot clock is off at the end of the third quarter. Akins driving on Holmgren. Step back, hits this one. Tough shot, creating space with the step back. Kept alive, 2 seconds on the timer. No good, so Team Sizzle and Chet Holmgren take a 4-point lead into the fourth quarter.
I would venture to say Chet might even be a little bit better than advertised, and he's already the top-ranked prospect in the ESPN 100.
Donovan Smith's his sidekick, another open three, and he buries it. Donovan Smith drills his 6th three of the night.
He is feeling good. Got the little swag going after the step back there.
Emoni Bates trailing by 7, largest deficit of the game. Crossover, the drive, takes it himself, and a foul called. Dylan Hunter resets. 5-star point guard. Here's Hunter, he's been quiet tonight. Floats it in to Phillips, working on Holmgren, and so good, Chet Holmgren on both sides of the ball.
So the amount of shots he blocks is one thing. How about the amount he changes?
Transition three, you've got to be kidding me! Chet Holmgren showing off.
Absolutely ridiculous doing on the offensive end of the floor right now. 7-foot
sensation, Chet Holmgren, showing why he is the #1 player in the class of 2021. You just saw a 7-footer.
He's honestly been their best point guard, too.
Yep.
Most reliable with the ball.
This time on the drive, and it's a charge going the other way.
Never played each other before. You didn't know how competitive it would be. This has lived up to the hype and then some. Both of these guys setting the tone for their teams.
Holmgren this time dumping it off. Hersey Miller up and under for the finish.
Unselfish play by Holmgren. Great finish there. by Hershey Miller.
Javon Hanna in the spin cycle, no good. Emoni Bates followed. Holmgren, the rejection. Outlet to Aligbe, who hammers it home.
An athletic hybrid forward. He changes ends, gets up and finishes plays.
Bates transition three, in and out.
Team Sizzle starting to get a little separation here. This is a big possession.
Holmgren on Bates, between the legs, all the way to the rim, on a rack attack. Stuck in the corner, calling for it, they feed him. Emoni Bates. Here's Dylan Hunter going right into Holmgren. Are they call an offensive foul?
For Emoni Bates, and in no way, listen, Chet has been sensational tonight. This has done nothing to damper anyone's enthusiasm about just how special Emoni Bates is.
Holmgren passes off. Donovan Smith, the hot hand, hits another three. His 7th of the night, and it's a 12-point lead for Team Sizzle.
Team Sizzle just seizing the opportunity, and Donovan Smith, give him a ton of credit.
Holmgren is relentless at the rim. Does not take a play off on either side of the ball. From the parking lot, Smith, heat check, no good.
Up 12, 3 minutes left in the game. We might have to talk about that one tomorrow's film session.
Dylan Hunter, aggressive to the rim. Bates in perfect position for the follow.
Good lesson for young players. Bad shots are just like turnovers because they lead to runouts.
Holmgren up to Prince Aligbe, fights through traffic, and the tip goes in.
The collective fight from Team Sizzle, we saw it in that first quarter, especially in the defensive end of the floor, but this group came to play here tonight. They really want to win this game. They don't want to go anywhere.
Looking for Bates.
Look out.
It's intercepted. Aligbe, he thought he was just going to have an easy slam, and instead the foul brought him down.
Not the type of offensive performance he was hoping for on this stage.
Yeah, I mentioned famous fathers. Dylan's dad, Bryce, played wide receiver at Georgia in the late 90s, so some athleticism in his family. Bates poked it away, falls to Hunter, and he throws it away. What could have cut this game to a 2-score game ends up going the other way. And a foul call. Did that go in?
It did.
Wow, count it.
Bunnies.
He's calling for the ball.
Yeah, he's not giving in yet.
Akins fires and hits instead. Jaden Akins also committed to Michigan State.
Yep, you got to pick up defensively here. Try and pressure Sizzle into a turnover, or at least a quick shot.
Donovan Smith, great handles, even better feed, a block. Keeps YPSI Prep in it. Bad pass though. Donovan Smith calls game. His 8th three of the night, and it seals it for Team Sizzle.
And if you're going to take that three, you better make that three, because time and score says you pull that ball out.
In a battle of #1 prospects, Emoni Bates comes up short to Chet Holmgren. The senior gets the better of the junior.
As good as it gets, Chet Holmgren brought it all tonight. These are your two best prospects in high school basketball.
Let's get you to the nightcap. 3rd game of the triple header with Matt and Paul.